to the All That to Say podcast.
I'm Miranda.
And I'm Kristen.
We have a lot to say.
And we're going to say it.
I did the absolute bare minimum amount of makeup.
Well, you don't need makeup.
On the way here. And I could have used a little bit more concealer under the eyes now that I'm seeing myself like this, but that's okay.
Well, we both
All 9 people on YouTube are going to say, yes, you have dark under eye circles.
We're both tired today. You guys, we didn't sleep good on Valentine's night, and not because anything. There was no hanky-panky.
No, nothing kept us up except for our own thoughts.
Yes.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers. I tossed and turned.
Yeah.
I was hot flashing. Y'all, it was rough. So a real quick update on the hormones.
Okay.
Because I'd shared with everybody on stories like, oh, I'm seeing this new woman and she's great and she knows about all the things. So she started me on a different delivery system of the estrogen.
Okay.
So estrogen can be in creams, pills, patches, all the things. So I'm trying something new. But her thing is like, you're going to know within the first week if the dose you're on is enough.
Because what do you feel?
You may need to double up. And like, I'm already at the time to double up.
Oh.
So
how do you know?
Just based on how I feel. And she's really great. And I wish more doctors were this way, where she said, yes, we're going to take blood and we're going to look at numbers and we're going to see what the science of it says. Right. However, how we treat hormones in women is how you feel.
Right.
Some women are going to go through menopause and feel great.
Yeah. My problem, what I'm worried about is I don't know how I feel.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not in tune. I'm not in tune enough with my body to know how I feel.
Yes.
Because even doctors, I think we've talked about, like, they'll be like, what's your pain from 1 to 10? I'm like, 2, 8? I don't know.
And because we don't sleep too.
Yes.
It's like, have I ever known what it was to feel really good?
I don't know.
How do we know?
I don't know.
Are there
we're always so tired?
Yes. Are there other people out here in the streets walking around feeling really, really good?
Yeah. I want to know.
But we don't know what that feels like.
Don't know. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be you.
I wish I could know.
Like, is it rested? And how many nights in a row of sleep do you need to feel rested so that then you feel good? So then if you don't feel good about something else, you know it's because of that.
Yeah.
I might get one good night of sleep, right? I'll finally be like, I did it.
Yes.
I got 7.5 hours of straight sleep. I didn't wake up at all. I fell asleep easily. I woke up to my alarm, whatever. But that's once in a blue moon.
Right.
It doesn't happen 2 nights in a row.
It's not going to happen for 7 days straight.
That's funny. Very funny. No, it's not. And so one 7.5 hour stretch does not rest make, is my point.
No.
So then I really don't know. I mean, I've told you before, I had a friend who was like, I can feel my egg dropping during my period.
That's true.
Like, can you? Or somebody will be like, I'm starting to feel run down. I'm like, I live in a perpetual state of run down.
Yes, we are perpetually run down. The cortisol is either very high or very low. The hair is falling out.
It's amazing to me that people can notice things like
Yes.
this. So anyway, how do you know it's not? How do you know you need more?
Yeah, I think for me, it's if I'm still having night sweats, if I'm still having hot flashes, if I'm still, there's certain things for me. If my eyes are dry, like there's just certain things that crept up only when menopause started.
Other things are dry.
If other things, and that's just the truth. If other things are dry that were never dry before, I have to say,
I get it.
Hey.
Yeah.
So
it's all related to estrogen.
I've already had to double up. And she said that's probably going to be the case. When she looked at my labs, what I brought into her to initially look at, she was like, oh my gosh. She was stunned.
Because of your age?
Yes. She said, well, if you look at my hormone labs, I look dead.
Oh, no.
I mean, it's someone who's 99. Like
those are my antibody labs. Same thing, but different. Yeah.
And to be the age that we are and to have labs like that is shocking, I think, to a doctor. And but what was kind of interesting is she said, I don't think we're just going to be calling this early menopause. You have like an ovarian deficiency problem.
Okay.
This isn't just like, oh, I started early because I asked her, is it genetics? Is it this, that? She said, no, this is an ovarian problem. It's not because you had one removed. It's not because of your mother. It's not any of that. This is just like a thing you have.
Okay.
And the result of it is menopause.
Okay.
So anyway, you guys.
Yeah.
She's been great. I sent her info to a lot of the podcasts.
Okay.
Who reached out about it.
Do you think she might want to sponsor?
She even said, I told her because she said, what do you do? And I mentioned all the many things.
Yes.
One of them was
Where does podcast come when you're listing out your jobs?
I think it was like the second thing I said. And
Okay.
that day we had reached 100,000, I think. So
and
I
it
said,
didn't even get top billing?
so I said,
that
as
day?
a matter of fact, we reached, because I think when you say,
Yes.
I have a podcast, everyone's like, grown.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You and everyone else these days.
Actually, I'd written this down. I saw a reel that said, a girl came on and said, the midlife crisis of the 80s and 90s was someone would go and buy a Corvette, right?
Yes.
Or they would buy, like some kind of cool car.
Yes.
That was the midlife crisis. Or they would start an affair.
Yeah. Obviously, one of two things, car or affair.
But now, so the girl proposed the question, what's the new like millennial midlife crisis? And the person
Ooh.
responded and said, starting a podcast.
Oh. Hi.
It's us.
Average age of 40 and a half, one, somewhere in there.
And I was like, that one hurts.
Yeah,
Wow.
that stung. Feel
stings.
attacked. Okay, got it.
Ew.
But, and I do understand that a lot of people do start a podcast, but ours is great.
Ours is great. Sorry.
Sorry.
It's actually really
Like,
good.
it's really funny and we're really good at it, and lots of people listen to it. So I guess call it a midlife crisis, but we also are calling it a midlife win.
That midlife win, hoes.
Winning.
But I wonder,
Hoes. We're winning, hoes.
I wonder what our listeners would say. We'll have to throw it out there. What
Yeah.
would they say is the new, from their perspective, what is your new midlife crisis?
Yeah, because now no one can afford to buy things. That's why people start podcasts, because
It's true.
it's a pretty low
It is.
financial entry
Yeah.
barrier,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Whereas Corvettes and things like that, and starting affairs are expensive too. I don't know.
Affairs. I mean, the
I don't know
very
if you've added
least,
it up, but you got to buy two people everything now.
2 people, everything. You got to get hotel rooms.
Yeah.
Motel rooms even. I mean, that adds up.
It does. You get dirty in a motel room.
I do. Y'all know I get down and dirty in a motel. Hotel.
Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. I don't know the rest, but we got
Tell
enough.
her friends.
We got enough to put it on Spotify.
Yeah, that's enough.
I added REO Speedwagon this morning.
Okay, good, because there were several on the
Yeah, and there was
Thursday.
another one. Yeah, there was another one, but they're both on there. And if you're listening to our Spotify list and it seems like it's bouncing around all over the place, that's because we are.
We are. Sorry
are.
for anyone that stumbles upon that randomly.
Yeah, I know. They're going to be like, what is this?
What is wrong with
Whoa.
these women?
Whiplash.
Is the Downton Abbey theme on there?
No, but it should be.
I feel it should be, because that is what we use to fall asleep
yeah,
at
that's
night
what we
in our
sing
head.
in our head.
But speaking of that,
Yes.
have you ever watched The Gilded Age?
No.
Somebody, it might have been Erin, said she got into The Gilded Age and I should watch it.
What is this on?
It's on HBO.
Well, that's the problem. I don't
know.
have HBO.
I know.
How many streaming services do you have them all?
I don't have them all, but
Do you have Max?
I have logged into many using many different accounts.
Okay, got it.
That's what
Yeah.
I'll say.
Yeah. Same.
Some of them belong to me.
Yeah, and some of them don't. And some people have mine. And
Yes,
some
exactly.
Yeah,
Some
it's
people
we're
have
scratching each other's back.
We all are. And
Yeah.
sorry, streaming services, but that's just how it is.
I
Y'all
think
have
they're making
plenty of
enough.
money.
Yeah.
If you're releasing new things, Netflix, every other week, new shows and stuff, like you're good. You're making money.
If I'm happy to take $1,500 when a door falls off a plane, I think we know how many streaming services I can afford to pay for or not.
It's shameful. It's shameful.
Tell the people.
Y'all, okay. You may have already,
we'll come back to Gilded Age.
yeah, we will. We'll come back to Gilded Age, but y'all might have seen on stories. But if you missed it on stories, I already have people messaging me saying, Miranda's insane that she would take $1,500 for that. Y'all,
I was happy with it. Not just take it, please.
when this happened, a boy's shirt was sucked off of his body and flew out.
He deserves more than 1,500. I agree. There might need to be a tiered system here. If you lost an article of clothing off of your body,
Yeah.
you are the top tier. You're getting hundreds of thousands.
Yes,
But
but
if
there
you
there were belongings that got I screenshotted.
I get it.
Posted to the gram. I'm sharing my receipts to say no. This is not only trauma, but you've lost personal possessions. This is crazy.
I agreed with that. But when we were first talking about it, there were no injuries.
There were no
nothing. And I did not know about the shirt being sucked off. And I didn't know about the loss of personal belongings. And so I do amend some things I was saying. But I'm just saying, if you were 15 rows back and you
Sure.
didn't even feel a gust of wind, and the only hardship you had in this whole situation is needing to be put on a new plane and you still got to your destination, 1,500 to me sounds fair. Now the boy without the shirt, I would be fighting for 150,000.
Yes, and
whatever.
And these articles are saying
They're
that
gonna get it.
There's already lawyers, and
of course, they're going to get it.
Yeah, they're in the trenches now, saying this is sick that you would even offer this paltry amount of money.
Okay, it's sickening. I assume we sign our lives away when we buy airplane tickets?
That's a very good question.
What are the terms and agreements
Yes.
that we are scrolling down and
Next
just
time I
clicking?
book a ticket, I'm gonna look.
Are you going to read them all?
I'm going to read them all because I want to know. Are they saying, yeah, if the plane goes down, it's not our fault? I don't think it's okay that all of us are signing that away. I don't.
I know, but we're also signing away terms and conditions that it's like, we can use your pictures on the internet for literally anything.
It's true. Now, did the Miracle on the Hudson people, did they get compensated?
Oh, man, I will have to ask my girlfriend and see. Well, I'm sure Google will also tell me
Yeah,
that.
I want to know because, again, the trauma, and
Yes.
they lost a lot of possessions, clearly.
Yes,
So
they
I
did.
would like to know what
did
these
lose
people
possessions.
received.
Some people had some minor, very, very minor injuries, but we will have to figure out what they got. I have several people we can ask, and we will get to the bottom of it.
That's what we do here, folks. Getting to the bottom of it. Okay, back to Gilded Age.
Okay.
I ask you this because, so as I was home all weekend, you guys, on Saturday morning, my youngest was diagnosed with the flu.
Yep.
But by Monday morning, he was fine. So Tamiflu for the win.
Yeah. Kids, man. Am I right?
Kids, golly. And thankfully, none of the rest of us got sick. But it just ended up where anything we had planned for the weekend was dust.
Yep.
So I'm just laying around and I thought, I really want to turn something on that's enjoyable for me to watch, but kind of like soothing for him
Okay.
to nap on the couch because that's all he was
That's
doing.
all he was doing, yeah. Just
nap.
sweating and napping.
Sweating and napping on and off. Well,
I wish.
I wish.
I mean, the sweating I could do without, but if it got me napping,
Yeah.
sure.
You would do it.
Absolutely.
Well, some people use those infrared bags that they lay in that make them sweat.
Lindsay Quinn does that.
Lindsay Quinn has the bag.
I don't know about that.
I mean, it's
I
supposed to
do
be
like a sauna.
But I'm confused because some people are saying do a cold plunge and some people are saying sweat in a bag. So which one is it?
Which one is it? And then some people do both.
Absolutely.
They go from a sauna. Nick Zalecki, shout out, you know who you are. He goes from another person who I went to dance with in Catholic school. His wife follows me. Hey, Lindsay.
Hey, Lindsay, girl, what's up?
Hey, girl. Hey. But he does. I believe he says that he does an hour in his sauna, does yoga, does cold plunge for 3 minutes, and then showers. And this is like his morning routine every morning. And he says he feels incredible.
So is that what we need to do to start to feel incredible?
But Kristen,
But I'm saying,
where are we going to find the time to do
is
that?
that what we, for people that are feeling their absolute best?
These cold plungers have almost sold it to me.
I agree. I
almost.
keep getting the ads for that pod. It's a little pod that you keep out back and it keeps the water cold.
Now, if you want a more affordable option, I don't know how much that is. I haven't gotten that ad yet, but a lot of people are just buying deep freezers.
Oh,
Like you can get a deep freezer from Home Depot for $300-$400.
that's so
And then
smart.
you put the water in there and you can set the temperature so it doesn't actually freeze, obviously, but it keeps it really, really cold. And then you just lift up the cover, and you get in.
Okay, I kind of love that.
I think my friend Michelle has that.
That is so freaking smart. Okay, I'll have to look at how much this pot is. But what I have said to Matt is I would first have to just test it in my tub
Mm-hmm.
and do it enough times to be like, this is now my lifestyle
Correct.
before I invest in this stupid pod.
I don't take very hot showers. I know some people who just crank that knob
I
all
want
the
it
way
to
over.
be fire. I want to be burning.
So if this is the lever, if you move it to the center, I'm like, here.
Interesting.
I do not take a scalding hot shower at all. And actually, when I turn it on, speaking of showers, when we were talking about the people who don't wait for it to get warm, so I turn it on and I'm waiting for it to get somewhat warm, but I do step in before it's reached its full heat.
Yeah.
And that's the water I let hit my face because I can't let hot water hit my face because it's so assaulting because I wash it so infrequently.
It's
it doesn't
true.
know the temperature.
It's not created the barrier of,
No.
of strength.
No.
Yeah.
It's so sensitive, like
It's
my
so
back skin.
sensitive.
And
Aw.
so I get in and that's kind of lukewarm and that's the water that hits my face and that's when I wash.
Wow.
And
That's the one time
The
you
one
wash.
time a week, yeah, when I do my once a week shower is when I once a week wash my face. And I'm just kidding you. I take them a little bit more frequently than
No,
that.
that was
Not a ton.
there are
People are over showering, over bathing,
Oh, they are.
over hydrating, over washing,
Yes.
over producting.
It's too much.
I'm telling y'all right now, calm down.
well, one of my favorite podcast moments in this room,
Yeah?
and there are many, but this
Yeah.
is at the top, was when I said I was going to say to you, do you shower in the morning or night? And all I got to was, do you shower? And you said no.
I took a sip of water at that exact moment, and that is still one of the funniest things too to me. I'm snotting. I snotted because I was holding the water in so tight. Hold on. Let me get out my bra tissue.
Do you shower? No.
No. Oh, I have a question I want to ask you. I've never asked you this. Do you shower?
No.
I could tell you weren't done. You hadn't gone up. How people end sentences, questions going up. She hadn't. Do you shower? No. Just no. Don't finish it. Don't finish that sentence.
I'm crying.
I dare you.
I am dead.
Just no.
Oh, that is one of my
Ugh.
fave moments. So
That was so good.
So for you to say, am I going to sit in a sauna bag, then do yoga, then cold plunge, and then shower every single day?
God, no.
You're what? This is all
God,
again,
no.
it's
And
an
if you
give
don't do
take.
it every day, then is it even worth it?
Then you're
Because
not
these
gonna get
people
the
are gonna say
benefit.
You're not going to get the benefit.
So, but how much do we want to feel good? I just wish I could be in someone else's body for 1 minute.
And just see how good that feels and if
Yes.
it's worthy of your time
If
to
it's
do
worthy.
it.
But if I feel the same or mildly better, I'm going to say, nah.
this is why you're like working out.
eh,
Am I
it for
feeling
me?
any better?
eh, not really.
Not really.
Not really, Luann.
Not really. Gilded
Okay,
age.
Gilded age.
So it was
Back to
soothing.
that.
It was soothing.
It was-
He was sweating. That's where we got.
Yeah,
to
that's where we.
sauna.
Yeah. That was the trail of tears that we went on. We sat and watched and he didn't watch it, but I sat and watched. And Matt and the big kids were kind of in and out, so it was really just me.
Yeah.
But it was giving Downton Abbey.
Okay.
And
Well,
so
we love that.
you came to my mind. I thought, well, man, do people know about this show?
Who's any big names that we would know?
Cynthia, what's her face?
Nixon from
Yep.
Sex and the City.
Yep, Cynthia Nixon.
Okay.
Any other big names? Yes, there was one. Can't think of her.
It's okay.
The point is, if you liked Downton Abbey, and I feel like so many of
So
us
it's a
loved
period
it.
piece, obviously,
It's a
and
period
it's set
piece.
in
It's like late 1800s New York City.
New York City.
New York City.
Late 1800. Y'all remember those salsa commercials?
New York City.
Yeah. What is it? What was the question that led him to saying that though?
Yeah,
Like,
it's the old El
where is it
Paso.
where's this from?
Yeah,
And
how
then
did-
they look at the label.
Yeah, New York City, and then
New York
and
City
then they all repeat it back, and
Yeah.
and that cowboy is shamed because his salsa came
from
from a factory in New York.
in New York City. Were they sitting around a fire?
Oh, they're definitely around a fire. It's giving Prospector.
I don't know what that is. Am I supposed to?
Have you seen the old Prospector skit from Will Ferrell?
No. I don't think so.
Okay, y'all, please look this up. We'll share it in
We'll
the
share
receipts.
it. Yeah.
The old Prospector skit is, for SNL, there's so many skits they have lined up, but only certain ones make it to the show.
Correct. They're pre-taping a lot of them.
And so this is one that they couldn't make it to the show because they all could not stop laughing.
Oh, then I think I have seen this.
Where he's jangling with the pots and
Yes,
pans.
yes. Okay, I didn't put two and two together.
That
I thought
is
you were
the-
talking about another show called The Prospector.
Oh, no. Just
Yeah.
like a prospector.
Okay, got it,
is
got
like the guy with the pots and the
Yep.
pans, and they're like out on home on the range.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the Trail of Tears.
On the Trail of Tears,
Yeah, similar.
exploring. So in that salsa commercial,
I think
all
we're
of them.
confusing Oregon Trail with the Trail of Tears.
There's a lot of trails. There's a lot of trails. The Appalachian.
I'm not
Trail.
hiking them. I know that.
Appalachian or
Yeah.
Appalachian.
It's Appalachian.
You want to tell the people?
Y'all, please, my God, stop with the Lation.
Yeah.
I don't know who started this. I'm sure it was Californians,
Yeah.
or Midwesterners. I don't know. But the people who went to the actual university of which it's named
Yes.
probably know how it's pronounced.
I think so.
And so if we say it's Appalachian, it's Appalachian.
Please stop saying Appalachian.
I don't care what your third grade teacher told you in Iowa.
I don't
Okay.
care.
I don't.
I don't care.
I don't. And so it's not enough to say, well, that's how I learned it.
No.
Because I'm telling you right now, I went there, I attended it. I gave them lots of my hard-earned money for that degree to hang. Probably not on a wall anywhere, actually.
Yeah.
We know that.
Mine's not.
But it's definitely in a bucket. And, or bin of sorts.
A bucket. Not a bucket.
It might be.
Like an orange Home Depot bucket?
Yeah.
Is where your diploma is?
Maybe. All right. And it's fine. It's somewhere. But it's Appalachian. LATCH is the sound you're going to make with your
Yeah.
mouth. Let's say it all together. 1, 2, 3. Appalachian. One more time. Appalachian.
Appalachian, like a latch.
Yeah, like a latchkey kid. Like we were.
Like we were, as you all know.
So, don't listen to those sports announcers
No.
who are saying Appalachian. And they're also saying
Are they saying that on like
Lation.
Lation, like with a SH?
Yeah, Lation.
Appalachian.
Appalachian.
Do they think they sound fancy? It's tomato. It's are there certain words where people just the salmon and the salmon?
I think that they just are from different places and they don't know, and they thought it was called the Appalachian Trail or the Appalachian Mountains, and they heard that enough times, and so they said it. But we know.
We know.
We went there.
That's right.
You have a home there.
Yeah.
We know it's Appalachian.
We know the truth.
So it's just time. It's just time. It's just time for you to make the change.
The truth is out there.
Yeah.
As Mulder and Scully have told us dozens, hundreds of times. The truth
Thousands.
is out there.
The truth is out there, and it's now I feel better.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I saw a moment where I felt like you could clear that up.
Yep.
And I wanted to take that moment for you.
Thank you so much.
So Guy, watch The Gilded Age. If you are feeling an
Did
itch.
you plow all the way through it?
No.
Oh, okay. How many
I
seasons are
mean,
there?
I don't even know how many seasons, but I got through a lot. I got through several, but they're long episodes. I mean, I'm telling you, it's just like Downton. It's giving Downton.
Okay, if you'll let me log into your HBO account, then I will do that.
Yeah.
And I will give it a shot. Did you catch up on Traders? More importantly.
Yes. And
Important.
I'm important. I'm waiting for this tonight's episode.
Today we get to watch a new one.
I mean, Tinsley, every day it's like, it's almost Thursday.
I know.
It's almost Thursday, Mom.
Have you ever craved a show like this?
No.
Like, it's been a very long time for me to be cognizant of the day of the week.
Agree.
Simply for a show
Agree.
to come out.
Even up for our Bravo shows that we watch on Peacock. I mean, some
Yes.
of those come out Tuesdays or Wednesdays, and I might catch it the next day.
Yes, of
you know?
course. Yeah.
But this one, I am like, as soon as it comes out, I'm sitting down to watch it.
I stayed up until I was up, of course. I was awake until midnight, today, hours ago is what I'm saying. And there was a little part of me that was like, I could just go watch Traders because it's out. But I didn't because Lily's trying to catch up now. So what happened is I started Traders season 2. I never watched season 1.
Okay, so you've watched season 2.
So I started with season 2 because there were people on the cast I really liked.
Is that the one Brandy Glanville was in?
Yes.
Okay.
So Brandy, well, hold on. In season 1 or season 2?
Season 2.
Season 2, was it Brand? I'm starting to now get them mixed up.
I know.
I'm starting.
So many people on these shows.
I'm starting to get them mixed up. But I do know that I started season 2 because Phaedra's on it, and I love Shady Faye Faye.
Mm-hmm.
And some other people who I just really, and CT.
Oh.
Love CT.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking we're on season 3.
No.
You started with season 2 and
Season
now
2.
you've gone back to season 1.
Yes.
That's
So
where
once-
Brandy is.
Okay, yes. So once I fell in love with season 2, I was like, I can't wait for a whole nother week.
Yeah.
I need more Trader Sticks.
More.
So then I went to season 1 and I told Lily, I think you'd really love this show. So we started watching it together.
Is season 1 just as good?
So good.
Okay, I'm going to start it.
We plowed through, y'all, season 1 is so good.
I'm going to start it.
So we plowed through season 1. We're already done. And now Lily has to catch up to season 2 because I've watched the first 6 episodes by myself. So she now needs to watch all of those.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if I'm going to wait on today's episode for her to catch up. She can just take the next week to now catch up on the
Yes,
rest.
and then you guys can get on the same
And then we
page.
can get on the same
It is
page.
so, and honestly, I mean, Tinsley's 12. She is
Yeah.
loving watching this show with me.
I think you can watch it with any
I
age
think
kid.
so.
I don't see anything.
And there's a little bit of language here and there, but
Yeah.
not really that bad.
Mm-mm.
And, you know, we tell our kids, like, you're going to hear language in the world. You
Yeah.
know, it kind of just is what it is. And that's,
we always said when you're an adult, you can say
That's it.
words that you can't say when you're a kid.
that's what I say.
And if you want to rush adulthood, if you want to rush cussing, then you can do other adult things like pay bills. And so we always told our kids, if you want to cuss, absolutely fine, but you're going to start paying the water bill.
Yep.
If you want to cuss, you're going to start paying. So Bella, you can have the water. Lily, you can have the power. We can start there.
the phone bill, the
Yeah.
internet. Yeah.
And then if that is something that you desire, then great, you can start cussing. But you have to start paying some of those you have to start doing some other adult things because the privileges
That's right.
come with the
Yeah.
the adult privileges come with all of the other stuff that you have to do
Yes.
just to get there. And
Yes.
it's not as
Matt
fun.
says, everything has a cost.
Mhm.
Something that
Yep.
seems too good to be true
Mhm.
or is so great. Even if it's something you're observing in
Mhm.
someone else's life that seems so awesome and great, there's always a cost.
Yep.
And it may not be very apparent, but it's always
It's
there.
always there. And even if it's the cost of time,
Yeah.
even if it's the cost of
That's
effort
right.
or energy.
That's it.
But we wanted to hit it. Our kids are money motivated.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to hit them where it hurts. So if you want
Now,
to cuss,
would Bella ever be cussing?
no, she still never cussed.
Yeah, Bella is not.
No, neither of them.
And that's not a knock on Lily. I'm just saying
No.
more Bella's personality is just, I think she's just more, you know, she wants the hem of her skirt long.
Yeah.
She wants, like, that's kind of just more her personality.
She's never cussed. Every once in a while, Lily tries to get her. She's like, I'll give you $20 if you say damn or whatever. Like, not even a bad word. Like, we're not talking the F word.
Oh my God,
or
Lily,
the
I love
C
that.
word or something like that. It's literally like, say damn it.
That is so big sister, little sister.
I know. And
I love that.
And Lily is like, or Bella's like, no, absolutely not. I would never. I still don't know if she's cussed. I can't remember if like Lily finally got her to, but they don't cuss.
No.
Like that's my point. Because we made this rule for them, they don't. And so even Lily, who kind of has more of the personality where she would,
Yeah.
doesn't because she doesn't want to start paying a bill.
No, she doesn't.
She doesn't want to start paying the bills. So she doesn't cuss and she doesn't do it around her friends. And it actually bothers both of my girls when their peers cuss in front of them.
So dumb.
They're just
Who
like-
needs to be cussing like that at like 16?
And it's
Stop.
every other word.
Ew.
And it's so what's the word when frequent. It's so frequent that
Yeah.
and it's like, why are you even doing this? It's not giving any additional meaning.
No.
It's not helping the story.
It's feeling very unintelligent to me.
Yeah, and
that
so
you can't like come up with better words. Like
They
go get
don't
a
like it.
dictionary.
they don't like it. They do not want to
Mm.
hear people cuss around them. It makes them uncomfortable. It definitely makes Bella more uncomfortable. But yeah, Lily still will mention to me, she'll be like, gosh, people were saying this or that or other words too.
Yeah.
And she's just like, I don't even like to hear it. But they hear it out of my mouth all the time.
Yeah, they sure do.
And Joshua's.
And your dad.
Oh, everybody. I mean, we all, I grew up in kind of a cussing. I mean, I heard my parents cuss, but we weren't cussing in front
But
of
I mean,
them.
I'll say the way
I wasn't cussing in
you're-
front of my parents.
that your dad can just seamlessly drop a word into a sentence, it's a marvel. It is. It should be studied.
He won't drop an exclamation point in there. I'll tell you that though.
But
No.
when we were there for Easter last year, I just remember your dad. It just flows out of his mouth almost in a poetic way.
Yeah.
So,
It does.
for some people it really works. Not these 16-year-old kids.
No.
But when you're a man of his age, you have earned the right to speak how you want to speak.
You weren't allowed to cuss growing up, I assume, in your house.
Absolutely not.
Did your parents cuss in front of you?
No.
Oh, okay. So you never heard language.
No.
Oh, okay. Did you cuss with your friends?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm. I mean, I definitely only or would hear language like at friends' houses or maybe somewhere where the dad would drop a word here or there, but not a lot.
Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that your parents, do they cuss in front of you now?
Little bit.
Okay.
Sorry, Mom and Dad, but you know the truth.
They do. I mean, I've heard Pam say it, but I'm just like.
There are certain things worthy of a word.
Uh-huh.
There's certain things, and does everyone need to get all bunged up about a word? I don't think so.
No.
But I do think it shouldn't be so frequent that becomes your vocabulary. We can do better than that. We can come up with better words.
Mean what you say and say what you mean.
I mean, even some of these podcasts out here, I'm just like, you're a good podcast. You're funny.
Yeah.
You're engaging. You don't have to drop an F-bomb every 3 minutes in your podcast because you're going to lose listeners that way. Some people don't want to hear that all the time, and you're better than that. Come on.
Yeah, I agree. Even though you're going to have to bleep out me saying the S word just 5 minutes ago.
That's okay.
But I couldn't come up with anything
I
else.
bleep you out every now and again.
Every now and again.
I mean, you've got your dad's skills.
I do.
You know what this reminds me of? I remember the story. Let's see if you remember this.
Okay.
I remember so many things, and I never know if you're going to remember.
Yeah.
It's about your own child. Bella.
Can't ever tell.
Years ago. I mean, she was probably, let's say 7, give or take. And she came to you and said, Mom, I know a bad word. And it's in my head. And I can't get it out of my head.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember this?
I don't really, but it sounds exactly like something she would do.
Yeah.
Because
she was really struggling because it was like, I'm not trying to say it, but the word won't leave my head.
So that's also there's a fine line in mothering, right? Where you are trying to not give your kids additional anxieties about things because you've made them so off limits that it's piquing their curiosity.
That's it.
P-I-Q.
P-I-Q-U-I-N.
Y'all peak that way.
Peak.
So you're like, you don't want things to be so off limits that it's all they can think about doing.
Yes.
Or saying.
Yes.
Or looking at.
They want to,
or whatever.
Look it up when you're out of sight. Yeah.
But then also not just saying it's a free for all.
Yeah.
Do whatever.
Correct.
And so, yes, something that happens to Bella, that she's just like, hey, I can't stop thinking about this ever since you mentioned it. Or something happened in like science class where they said, obese people have a higher, whatever of dying from heart disease sooner or younger.
Like a mortality rate.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then she was like looking around going, well, then that person is going to, and that person is going to, and now I can't stop thinking about that.
Oh, Bella.
And I'm like, oh, okay, babe. Yeah, we're just trying to, it's arming you with information and knowledge.
That's it.
But it's not for you to take on and harbor and wonder the ticking time clock in Mrs. Whatever's body, like just because she looks bigger. You don't have to think about that. But God bless her. She just can't help it. And so I'm sure she got this way with the word.
Yeah.
Someone told her it was a bad word.
Yes.
So then she said, okay, then I can't say it. So then it was a little, ticker.
A ticker in her head.
Boop, 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 boop.
Just the word over and over.
And it was probably like stupid.
I know.
It wasn't even
because she
it wasn't even the F word. It was probably like stupid. You can't say stupid. Don't call somebody stupid. And no, we don't want to call somebody stupid. But people can do stupid things.
That's right. They
really
do all
stupid
the time.
things. And so I had to probably try to explain to her, there are words and they are just words, and you are going to hear them and see them and one day probably use them.
Yeah.
And let's just say it and get it out of the way.
Yes. I actually think that's what you did.
Oh, is this around the same time when we developed Super Almond?
Yes, it is. You want to tell them about that?
I think that this might help some parents.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share this.
It is. It is right around that time.
Okay. Then this is all making sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Bella started to read the I Survived books.
Yep.
Did your kids? Yes.
Yeah, they've read them.
They've read them.
They love them.
So I Survived is this series of books, and it's I Survived the Tsunami. I Survived 9/11.
I Survived the Titanic.
I Survived the Titanic. And it's, firsthand accounts of people who have survived these monumental things. Well, Bella read all the time. She loves to read, loves books, and so she's a voracious reader. So she would read through all of these. Well, what they started to do is, instead of just being these educational books and these amazing stories about people who survived something and lived through something, it was, there are all these ways to die. It just took a little shifty.
And every kid is going to be different with that,
And at first it started out, oh my gosh, these people survived. And she'd tell me about the books, and something happened. I don't think, we didn't have anybody pass away. There wasn't an animal who died in our household or anything like that, but something happened. And there was this shift of now these books and things I'm learning about in science class or whatever, it's now I'm facing mortality.
Yes, it's like
people
everything
die.
became scary in a way.
Yes.
Everything became a risk.
Yes, and now people are going to die. And I also think it was coupled with, like, she finally had some sort of hardship.
Yeah.
Some hardship, and she was just like, oh, life isn't always just perfect and happy and everything's good to go.
Things go wrong.
All this was happening at the same time. And so I was trying to figure out, how do I help my child through this? How do you help a kid through anxiety? And I looked up online and learned a lot about your amygdala. Okay, so that's that little almond-shaped gland.
Little something.
Someone's going to correct me, and that's fine. But it's right at the base of your brain.
Okay.
And your amygdala is what controls your fight and flight response. And so that holds the power to many people's anxieties, depression, fears, because it is what is signaling to your body, you better run or you better tackle.
Wow.
Right?
This little thing in the back of our neck, basically.
Right at the base of your brain. And so for any information to get up there, you got to go through the amygdala.
Okay.
And so I'm reading about it and I'm thinking, okay, if this one thing holds all the power, then I'm going to tell Bella that, and I'm going to say, you control it.
Yes.
You control the almond.
The little almond.
The little almond in your brain. And I showed her this, I showed her, like, the actual brain, like inside of there. I showed it to her on the map and I explained what it did inside of your body. And I just said, the coolest part is that you can control it. So let's make this your superpower. And I said, what would we do if we had a superpower? And she's like, well, we would make a superhero.
Yes.
So what we did is, separately in different parts of the room, I said, I'm going to draw a superhero called Super Almond.
Yeah.
And you're going to draw a superhero called Super Almond. And let's compare our drawings.
Yeah.
And we almost drew the exact same thing, almost to a T.
Gosh.
And it was like an almond-shaped body, arms coming off. One was holding a knife and one was holding, like, they had their weapons.
And a little cape.
Maybe. I mean, I have a picture of this. I have a picture of our drawing
try to
somewhere. I cannot remember. Bella probably drew a cape. She's a much better artist. But so we drew it, and then we came back together and we kind of compared them. And I, of course, said, "Oh, I like your drawing way more. This is your new superhero." And I said, anytime one of those thoughts floats into your mind of worry, of anxiety, of, is this a way that somebody could die, or is my teacher going to, have something bad happen to her, whatever comes through there, I said, say, Super Almond, what are you going to do about this?
Yes.
And Super Almond is going to tackle that for you.
Yes.
And it worked.
It did.
It worked, y'all. It worked. And for years, we would, if there was ever something coming up that would make her nervous, if she was about to go on stage for a wax museum thing or whatever, I'd say, don't forget to tell Super Almond what she needs to do.
Yeah, time to step up.
Time to step up, Super Almond. And she'd be like, yeah. And Super Almond took care of it. I know.
That is the most
And still to this day,
precious.
we will call upon, okay, this is Super Almond's job.
It's Super Almond time, baby.
Super Almond time. And she loves almonds.
And almonds are good for you.
They're great for you. And they help heart disease stay down. Yep. So there you go. It all comes back to food.
It deserves a Taco Bell nod. But you know what I find interesting about this, and I think a parent listening to this could just, the takeaway is, you just got real honest with her about here's what our body does. Let's look at the chart. Let's read about it together and say, here's the reality of what's going on in your brain. And so maybe there's other things. I mean, even like the sex ed talks that we've chatted with you guys about on here, it's actually just getting more realistic and technical about it is going to set them up for success.
Absolutely. Again, no one's ever said, gosh, I wish I knew less. I wish I didn't have that knowledge.
More information.
What a waste. So do be honest. Instead of saying, don't dismiss it. Don't be like, oh, you don't have anything to worry about. How could you possibly have anything to worry about at 7? There's nothing to worry about.
Some kids
let it
really,
go.
really do struggle.
They really do. And she's such a thinker. She's constantly thinking that I needed to help her say, your brain is already going to be thinking about all of it. Let's figure out how to make it work its best.
Yes.
Instead of fighting against it.
Yes.
And so I can't thank God that article kind of explained this to me.
Yeah.
And that it gave me this idea, and then I was able to execute it, and it was able to help her so much. But if you need that, if you are a parent who is struggling with a kid who is a deep feeler and worried about things, and that's just naturally in them, I highly recommend drawing a superhero, even if you don't explain the amygdala and the almond shape and all that sort of stuff. But if you wanted to let them have this superpower deep inside of them, this superhero that they could call upon, give them a cute name, have a cute, drawing of them or whatever, it was a game changer for her. And then Inside Out came out shortly after that.
You're so
And I was able to take her to Inside Out and say, remember how we talked about all those emotions are in your head and that they can coexist. You can be super happy, but you can also be very worried about something. You can be excited about a roller coaster, but still feel like, am I going to fall out of it? And so that Inside Out just came at the exact moment that it needed to. And that helped explain what's going on inside of her head even more. And just a bunch of things happened at the same time. Now, she still will have her things that she will come to me and say, I'm very, very worried about this, or I'm feeling deeply, or whatever.
Yeah.
And like I said, we'll still call upon Super Almond, or we'll still have a very technical, knowledge-filled conversation about it.
Yes. And I've been witness to watching you walk through some things with her that can be hard and messy, and maybe it involves somebody else and decisions they've made. But a lot of times you do unpack things very logically. And I think when you're dealing with someone, it could be an adult who's on like the high emotions, just bringing the logical, here's what happened, here's what we can control. We can't control X, Y, Z, but we can do this, this, and this.
And that's what we do.
I love that.
Yeah, I hope that helps some parents.
I hope so. Here's another thing. It actually reminded me, and I just shared this with Matt this morning because now he's back to coaching
soccer,
the middle school girls soccer team. And middle school girls, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And I had run across a reel, and I'm actually going to try to find it just to show Matt, but I could share it here too, that a recent study was done to figure out what makes kids the popular kids at school.
Okay.
How do kids define who the popular kids are?
Yeah.
How do they, in their own hearts and brains, determine who those people are? And that's the legacy that person has left behind. And what it came down to across the board was kids who never had a bad thing to say about anybody else. So
are the popular
kids. So now,
was that true?
But listen, you have to pick, what they said is you might pair that with, are they super sporty? Are they attractive? All of these things. That's going to elevate them to like superpower, Mr. Popular, right? But if you're the kid that's not ragging on people, is maybe even trying to bring somebody into the fold that like needs a little boost, someone that is just a positive person and is not talking crap about people all the time, that's the most well-liked person in their school.
I agree. I think that that's how it should be. That was
Not the case for you?
well, not my personal experience. I mean, I feel like a lot of times the popular girls are the ones who just control the hierarchy of everything.
Well, I said
by
to
making
Matt,
people scared of them.
I said to Matt, think about Mean Girls,
Yeah.
right? You look at that movie and we all kind of said like, oh yeah, that's how the popular girls are. But I'm guessing or thinking that now there's been a shift, and I hope that there has been. Gen Alpha, reach out. We don't know.
Yeah.
But is there now a shift to say, it's not so much about who the popular girls are, and she's the most wealthy, so she has the cute shoes, and she's so pretty, and maybe now these kids are valuing.
Well, because everybody's pretty now. No one has awkward faces anymore.
But that's what it is. It's like things have really changed from when we were growing up. Everybody has access to YouTube, so they can all be pretty, and they can
contour
all be
that.
silly. Yes, contour that.
Contour the face.
Doing, the cute hair and all the things, and even it's not about where you get your clothes anymore. It's, do you have personal style? It might be from Goodwill, but are you putting that outfit together? Like, things are different now.
I'm hoping so. I will say Bella's, she goes to school with 4,000 people.
I know.
I
don't think there's like a popular.
I don't know. I think that there's just too many people to even know like who's popular, who's not popular. So, but I can say confidently, like, she's not the popular girl in school.
Yeah.
And then Lily is a freshman at the same high school. So it's also humongous. And she's not the popular person in school either. And I would say in middle school, same.
But they're both good girls.
But they've never desired it.
Yeah.
They don't want to be popular.
That's true. I guess
they don't even care about it.
Some people do chase that.
I think that they do. And I can at least speak for the Miller girls.
Milla girls.
The Miller girls. They do not care.
They do not care.
Mm-mm.
We do not care.
That's the Miller.
Never have. I've literally never heard out of their mouths, I wish I could be popular. I wish I were more popular.
Yeah.
Or why am I not in the popular? I've never has come out of their mouth.
When does Bella even pay attention to who, gets homecoming queen?
No. So
she doesn't even know.
No.
I wonder in a school that size,
how
does a queen really get selected?
I have no clue. I think that you have to. I was at the homecoming game last year, and I'm trying to think about I couldn't even tell you who won. Couldn't pick them out of a lineup. Don't know anything. Their school is so big. It's not the same. I graduated with 160-ish seniors.
Mine was less than 100.
So y'all all knew each other.
We all knew each other.
There was a hierarchy. There was a popular group and probably a stoner group. Well, I don't know about Christian. We had a stoner group.
Yeah.
We had popular.
Yeah.
We had the sporty.
Yeah.
We had all the Spice Girls.
Yeah.
We had Posh and Sporty and Baby.
And Ginger.
Yeah. You weren't Ginger then, though.
I was Ginger. I started going Ginger in 10th grade.
You did. People were shooketh by your blonde hair.
I know.
On the
I
eye
know
gouging
they
video.
were. But y'all, we'll have so many more receipts in the future where I am going to be blonde or pink.
Yeah. Oh, your pink. Oh, was so good.
I was pink.
I still want
during
you to be
COVID.
Pink. I want you pink.
And I
love you pink.
I think I might again at some point. I enjoyed the pink.
I hear that there's not going to be a BravoCon this year, so we're not going to miss it. I hear that they're going to maybe go to every other year. Breaking news.
I'm shocked. I'm so shocked. Where did you hear this?
I read it on Best of Bravo or something like that when they said, is there going to be a BravoCon because they haven't announced dates?
It's true. We're already into February here.
Yeah. And the person said, I think that what they realized is that in every other year is way more doable.
I think it makes it more exciting.
I do too.
More drama is going to unfold in those 2 years.
Correct.
More stars are going to rise to the top in those 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
It can feel like a lot if it's just back to back to back to back. Now, would we want to go?
Of course. But our podcast cruise is that same weekend. If it was going to be the first weekend of November, like it was this last year, then we were going to miss it.
Yeah.
Now we don't have to worry about missing it.
Oh my gosh.
Doesn't that
I really hope this is true?
Doesn't that make you happy?
And here's the thing too, like we have our signature looks, right? The purple, the red.
Mm-hmm.
We are memorable.
Absolutely.
It just is the truth.
It is
and
the
I
truth.
didn't want us to miss a year.
I know.
And the brains of these Bravo Labs get a little fuzzy and then they forget about us.
And we don't want that.
We don't.
No, we care about that.
Yes.
We want to be the popular girls.
Yeah, I want to be the popular girl at Bravo.
At BravoCon, and it's the truth.
I do.
I do. That's fine.
And we have to
We
achieve
own that.
if I have to throw someone under the bus or talk crap about someone, I will.
If we need to just follow all those camera crews around until they turn it around on us and finally, but they did want to interview us. It is what it is. We show up, we're showing out, we're putting on cute outfits, our hair's going to look right, the faces are going to be beat, and we have a lot to say, and we're going to make sure it's said.
Make sure it's said. Are people liking the new intro? Has anybody noticed?
It.
Okay.
Yes. Several people have noticed that not only the new cover art, but they have noticed the new intro as well.
Okay, good.
I saw the DMs.
Okay, good.
You see some, I see some.
Speaking of the cruise, I did add that to our website.
You did? Oh, that's great because Josie, when I saw her yesterday or 2 days ago, yesterday was Valentine's. I saw her on the 13th. Got it. I saw her and she was like, we got to push it.
Okay.
We got to push the cruise again because they have sent out a ton of quotes, but people are not, committing, which we know that is.
We get that. We understand that. Yeah, we've been there.
Okay, so.
So that's, Josie, you will hear this. It is on the website now. It's got Josie's email on there. It's got a link to the actual cruise. And y'all, click on this link. The website for this particular cruise line is wild. You click into it and you're like in virtual reality. You're on the water slide. You're on the dance floor. You're doing the salsa.
I love that.
Yes, it is so hype. I was like, anyone that clicks on this is going to want to be on this cruise. And here's what's interesting. I learned this is that this Utopia of the Seas is the first cruise, the first 4 days. So we're saying long weekend cruise that any cruise ship has done where they are elevating it to like it is a week-long cruise.
Okay, great.
So
love that.
Most 3 to 4 day cruises, it's a more basic ship and you're more just maybe going to an island and then you come back and you enjoy the meal and all. It's still nice, but it's not where they've got the water slides and like so much entertainment.
Yeah.
And so they came out with Utopia of the Seas to say, we want this to be like a Vegas level long weekend away with friends.
I'm so excited about this.
Yes.
I'm so excited because I love a cruise anyway because I love to be entertained without any expectation of me having to plan that out.
That's right.
And cruises deliver that for you.
And it seems like this one is, it is just top tier entertainment. No one should be bored at any point.
No.
And it is just bouncing from
unless you want to be.
Yeah, if you want to be bored, be bored.
If you want to go up to the adult deck and just lay by the pool all day, you do you.
Yes, please.
But we are here to at least offer the entertainment so you feel like you get bang for your buck.
That's it. And that's
still
really
affordable.
That's what they said is we want an affordable option where it still feels like that was the best weekend ever. So I want to relay that to the podcasts. And if you're new and you're like, what is the cruise?
Yeah.
We are doing a podcast cruise the first weekend of November this year.
1st through 4th. So it's going to be 4 days, 3 nights, and you're going to go to the Bahamas and you're going to go to Coco Cay, which is their private island that Royal Caribbean has.
Yes.
That they've built out and everything. If you've seen one of the latest Mr. Beast videos, he rents out the entire Coco Cay.
Yeah, and I put a picture of it on the website so they can
and
see
it's really great. And I've been there before and it's wonderful. So you get all the food and the drinks and everything's still there that you get on the cruise ship. If you don't want to go to Coco Cay and you want to stay on this ship, you can do that too.
Yep.
If you don't want to get off at the port in Bahamas, you don't have to.
Yep.
You can just stay on this ship again for that too. That's what's great about a cruise. You can tailor it to exactly what you want it to be. If you just want to sit in the casino the whole time and win money or lose money like I do every time I go to a casino, you can do that. But we really want it to be fun. We're going to do a live recording of a podcast. We'll pull people up and ask questions and do all those fun things. We'll have a private reception for all of you podcasts on the ship as well in our own private room. You can have the room that's the balcony overlooking the ocean. You can do an interior stateroom. There are different levels and prices for everybody. I will say this. We begged y'all to lock in those rates last year when we first announced it.
Yeah.
Like a $200 deposit, I think, is all it took to lock in those initial rates. If you didn't do that, the rates have gone up, just like we said that they would at the start of the new year. And they did because this economy. But no, we had already said that they were going to go up. And so they have. Your initial quote might not now be the same price.
True, yeah.
So definitely reach out to Josie, see what that difference is. We hope that it's still worth it to you to come. especially if you're splitting it between 2 people and sharing a room. It
Yeah.
should still be very manageable.
Yes, sharing a room. And if maybe you're a listener and your bestie isn't necessarily a listener of the podcast,
Yeah.
this is just a great getaway for you two
Yes.
gals to come together, split a room.
Mm-hmm.
They can get to know us and maybe
Yeah.
they become a listener and that'd be great. But the point is for all of us to just be together, have fun,
Yeah.
sing karaoke, eat yummy food,
And
do
you
all
know
the
I
things.
am going to sing karaoke.
I know. We need to plan what we're going to sing.
Okay. Obviously, Celine Dion.
We should force people to only sing what's on our Spotify playlist.
Oh, that would be so great. Because I can't fight this feeling anymore.
Tristan's like, my alarm.
I'm awake. I got it. I'm up.
Time for school.
Yeah. Let me go be popular. But let's go on a cruise. Let's have fun. If you're like, I don't know if I'm a cruise person, I promise y'all, the boat is so big.
Yes.
It's not that you're feeling it move.
No.
You're just on it. You're
This
just on
thing
this floating city in the sea.
Yes, it is a city. I mean,
Yeah.
looking as I was choosing pictures to go on the website and just clicking through, I was like, I've never been on anything like this. And I'm just tickled and delighted to be on this ship
I'm
and
excited.
be just a little speck on the floating
Yes.
rock in outer space, sitting on a boat, having fun with friends.
Can't wait. I cannot wait. It's going to be so much fun, you guys. But we want to make sure that we fill these rooms with
Yeah.
people we want there.
Yes.
And that's y'all.
That's you
We
guys.
want the listeners. We want
Listening.
y'all to come. If it's your sister coming with you or your mom,
Yeah.
Mary's going to be there.
Mary's going to be there.
My sister Jackie's going to be there.
Yeah.
Is Sister Lauren?
I don't know. I should talk to Lauren about that.
Is
Lauren, if
Mother
you're-
Pam?
Maybe I could get the two of them to share a room.
Pam and Lauren.
That would be shocking, I think, for everybody.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the draw.
including them.
I think they would have a really good time.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the best family vacations we ever did was a cruise. My
Aw.
sister was going off to college, I think.
Yeah.
And I think I was about to start high school and we did a cruise together and had the best freaking time.
So much fun. It's so much fun. You just get to do whatever you want. I love that. There's someone entertaining you in the disco. There's someone
Yes.
entertaining you in a comedy show. There's someone doing the newlywed game. There's someone in the main area doing a song and dance.
Yes.
It's similar to the Greenbrier, but cranked all the way up. But there was always something to do. I
Yes.
loved that. Or you go and be lazy. Go to the spa. Do
Yes.
that.
Oh, do the spa, baby.
I know you're going to do the
I
spa.
might be at the spa. Who's going to be at the spa with me? I don't
Not
know.
me.
It's not going to be you.
It's not me.
Um,
They're not for me.
But the other really cool thing is this ship is not even setting sail until July. This
Yeah.
is a brand new boat. Its first sail is in July.
So it's going to still feel really new.
It's going
not
to
gonna
be so
be
fresh.
run down at all. It's going to be very fresh, but it's also not the first venture
Yeah,
out.
it's not the first venture out.
Yeah.
So they will have tested it for us and we
Yeah.
can feel very secure and
Make
safe.
sure that all of that
by the
is
time
operating.
November comes around, we're going to feel really, really good.
Speaking of cruises, at trivia a couple weeks ago, there's a Family Feud round, right? So it's the top answer on the board is what
Yeah.
you're supposed to answer. And it said, what is the one thing that you wouldn't want a cruise ship to not have on it?
Oh, to not have.
To not have on it. What would be bad if a cruise ship didn't have this one thing on it?
So if they removed it, you'd be sad, kind of thing.
Yeah, it would
Okay.
be bad if they removed it. What's your answer?
I would say.
What do you think the number one answer
Gosh,
is?
the number one answer. The pools, I would think. The pools and the water slides.
Okay, the number one answer was booze or
Okay.
alcohol. But I wrote down lifeboats. I was like, you guy, are we not at all? No one watched the Titanic? Not one?
That
Okay.
is so true. If we remove
I said lifeboats. Wouldn't that be bad? No. Remove the booze. Please, God forbid.
Oh my gosh, people's
So I got-
priorities.
So I got that wrong. But I was like, team, it's got to be lifeboats. It's got to be lifeboats, right?
Gotta
Lifeboats,
be.
not one person was with me.
No
I was
one's
like, I'm
thinking
writing it
that.
anyway.
That is the most logical answer. And I'm very proud of you for coming up with that.
Thank you. Well, I'm a logical girly.
Well, tell the people you hosted trivia last night. I want to know how it went.
I was pinch hitting, so we go to Braswell's every Wednesday night. It's so much fun. 7 p.m. They always do trivia. It lasts for 2 hours. Come on out, you guys. It's so much fun.
I want to come.
I'm there.
Wanting to come.
I bump into peeps all the time there. And they also have good red sangria. And you know I love a good red sangria.
Yeah, you do.
And they have a really good one. So we do that. And this guy Jay is the host of it, and he's really great, and he's so funny and fun. But he needed to play music at Ash Wednesday service last night.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's so specific.
Very specific. That's what I said. I'm like, are you Catholic? No. I don't know why your church is doing Ash Wednesday. Okay.
Huh.
And so I said, get some ashes for me.
Yeah. Do the
you know
little
what
thing.
that is? Yeah.
I only learned about that because I've known, growing up, knew nothing about the Catholic faith.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw it was when I was working at Starbucks in Cotswold.
Okay.
And making orders, and somebody, it was a man, came in and he had it on his head. And I just thought, do I tell him that he's got dirt on his head?
Yeah, some smudge on his head.
And I didn't say anything because all my other fellow employees, who were all a bit older than me, they were all probably 10 years older than me, were seeming fine about it. So then after the fact, I was educated, and they said it's Ash Wednesday. I said, I don't know what that is. I mean, I just grew up so Baptist. We just never, ever touched on that at all.
So it's a whole week-long thing. So, you have Fat Tuesday, leads into Ash Wednesday, then you have Holy Thursday, then you have, we've discussed this before, and why do I forget Friday?
Freaky Friday.
That's it. But it's a whole, right? Am I confusing Easter week with this week?
Well, because then there's Good Friday, but that's Easter.
Oh, that is Easter. So I'm starting to mix Mardi Gras with Easter. But anyway, Ash Wednesday, I guess, was yesterday. I didn't go.
But the DJ was there.
But the DJ of this usual trivia night was at Ash Wednesday.
And so did they ask you?
Like, he wrote me and was just like, hey, you're good on a mic.
You are good on a mic.
I'm good on a mic.
Yeah.
I'm on one right now. In case you didn't know how this works. So a podcast, what happens is
this cord is connected to this soundboard right here.
And this microphone is what's amplifying my voice to you on your airwaves.
It records on an SD card. Now, it's important to not lose that SD card.
Don't throw it out.
Don't throw it in the trash.
Pro tip.
Pro tip. Keep it with you at all times. You can upload that to your computer and you can share it with the world.
Yeah, you can just share it because it's wireless.
Yeah. No wires.
No wires, as my dad always says about cell phones. Look, no wires. It's a computer, no wires. And you can hear us record these live podcasts on our podcast cruise. One more plug. Anyway. So he said, hey, I know you're good on a mic. Do you want to host trivia? And I said,
and you've done it for so long that you are the pro.
Of course. I know exactly how this is going to work. So he went and set up like the microphone, the speakers, all of that sort of stuff. And then I met him there yesterday to do the run through. And then I came last night. And actually, we've already covered that. That did not happen.
You did not come last night. Do not come.
But I went there.
Yeah.
Okay. I went to trivia, and I had half a glass of red sangria. I hosted trivia. I think it went well. The manager of the bar did not tell me I did a good job, but I've heard that there's no feedback anyway.
Okay.
So fine.
Some people are just like that.
Yeah.
Are the questions and everything already laid out, ready to go?
And he's not even the one who does it. It's a guy named Tommy. Tommy's Trivia, and he develops the questions every week, and then he sends the trivia out to all these different bar hosts. Trivia hosts at all these different bars. And so he makes some sort of money off of doing that.
Tommy, I love that. What a great business plan.
So it was Tommy, so I didn't have to come up with that. I got paid for doing it. I had a tab of a certain amount.
Nice.
Yeah, and so it was great. So now I have some money in my Venmo. Do I owe you?
I don't think so.
Okay. Let me know. It's in there right now. Hit me while it's hot.
How did your table do without you?
Not well. They got third place.
Oh, so you are an important part of this team.
Joshua and I are both very important. So Joshua was my DJ last night. So Joshua handled the music in between all the questions.
He wasn't even at the table either.
No, neither of us were at our table.
Oh, no. Sorry,
They were
guys.
missing us.
Sorry.
They were missing us.
Y'all are big-brained.
Yes, we are. And we know a lot of trivia. So it kind of killed us to be like, all right, threat level midnight, getting 7 out of 12. But at least people could tell we did not give them any answers beforehand. No. Everything was fair. Bella's boyfriend's parents came.
That's right. I saw that.
And joined, and so they played 3 of the rounds. And yeah, I thought it was fun, but it was Valentine's, right? So
Yeah.
it's not like people were like, "Hey, honey, I'm taking you to Braswell's for Valentine's." So it wasn't packed. A lot of the usual tables were not there.
Oh, interesting.
So that was a little bit of a bummer because that's, of course, the energy, right?
Yeah.
And Joshua had developed such a good playlist.
Oh, I bet it was so good.
So good. So
Josh is all about the music, too.
he's good about music. You know he loves a theme.
Yeah.
You guys very much are aligned in that way.
Yes, we are.
And so it was, since it was Valentine's Day, he did all love songs or making love songs or breakup and makeup love songs. So he had a fire list going. And so he was managing. So like in between asking questions, Jay always puts music on and then he would crank it down and up. And so I thought we did a really great job actually.
Well, but this is great. You got your foot in the door. They will ask you to do it again.
Oh, Tommy already asked if I would host a trivia at a different bar.
Oh, great.
But
Well, tell us all when it is and maybe the
I don't
podcast
know.
can come.
I need another job. I need another thing on the schedule
If it's
every
something
week.
you can do once in a blue moon. And you're so good on a make. People
I
deserve
do like
to
to
see
pinch it. I do like to pinch it. If I had to do it, think if you do even one night a year, that's 52 times you're committing to something.
Yeah. 52 times is a lot when you say it like that.
Doesn't it?
You know it's not a lot?
The $1,500. I knew you were going to say that. I already know. I know. But times 5 is 70. What did we decide it was? $7,500.
$7,500, but it doesn't matter because if your son's shirt got ripped off,
Did Lachlan's shirt get ripped off?
if my kid's shirt got ripped
I know.
off,
You would own that airline.
I would go scorched earth on these people.
I know you would, and that's fair. And I would defend you in that, and I would go to the court case,
Would
and
you
I would
go?
and I would cover it for everybody.
Would you come to the court case?
I would.
And sit in the gallery.
Yes, I would.
Okay.
I'll be there right next to you. I'll hire Camille from Johnny Depp's team. She's fantastic. Camille Vasquez,
Not Camille Grammer.
not Camille Grammer.
Don't get it twisted, y'all. Not Camille Grammer.
Absolutely not. And I know we only know a few Camille's.
Yeah.
But it's not Camille Grammer for us.
Yeah. Not Camille
Good TV.
Robeson. Not
And
Camille
definitely not
Grammer.
Camille, not Camille Robeson. She's not on your legal team. No, Camille Vasquez. But yes, I would cover it. I already said what I said. I defended the 15 hundo. If you had nothing go wrong, if your kid's shirt flew off, yeah, we got a problem.
Okay. Well,
We
I
got
want
a big
you,
problem.
After,
Gong.
After we finish this, I want you to write out the scale of payments.
Okay. Did you write it out? I said, you tell me what you think.
Oh
is
no!
fair.
Once I saw the shirt flew off, I was like, everybody's getting 100,000. That's it.
It's open sesame at that point. And it's open sesame like the seeds. It's not open says me.
Says me.
Like that. Can I talk about something?
Open sesame.
This is something that makes me absolutely insane. Okay? It's beyond the fact of the today years old.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
I'm going to take it one step further.
Here we go.
So y'all know I hate misinformation, period, and it gets shared way too easily, too quickly before anybody looks at it. That Jason Kelsey wearing the same outfit as Hangover's Alan.
Yeah, that was a lie, you guys. And before you even posted that, I saw some other comparison and I looked at it and I go, this is just the same photo. The wrinkles in the shirt
Are the
exact same. The shirt and crossbody combo were exactly the same. There's no way statistically that Jason Kelsey wearing the outfit that the wrinkles and the pattern would be exactly the same. There's no way.
There's no way. And they even put us side by side. It would be one thing.
No.
Because our memories aren't so great, right? Like it'd be one thing if it were just the picture of Jason and people said, "Oh, he showed up looking like it," right?
Yeah,
and we would maybe be like, "Oh, he nailed it."
Yeah, nailed it.
Okay.
But the side by side.
But to put a side by side of actual Alan from the movie still with the exact satchel, laying the exact same way, with the same wrinkles, the same pants, the same belt, the neck, y'all, you didn't look.
No.
It blew my mind.
And people said, nice Photoshop job. And my honest opinion is it wasn't a good Photoshop job. I do Photoshop jobs.
Yes.
And I would have done a way better job on that to make it look so hyper realistic. His head was a different color than the rest of the body. Guy.
Wild.
Don't fall for this.
Don't fall for it. But it shows how many people can spread misinformation,
I know.
how quickly it spreads.
I
And
know.
enough people thought that my friend Emily McAllister is a photographer and she shared it. And I was like, Emily, you work with Photoshop. She's like, I just thought like maybe he borrowed it from Hollywood. Like I said, Emily.
No.
No, you
There's
don't.
no way that
There's no
pattern is stretching over the belly button the exact same way.
The belly button.
I can't.
I can't. And so many people shared it and they're like, this is why I love Jason Kelsey even more. I'm like, yo, I wanted that to be true too. You don't think I did? That's why I went to look at the original picture, went into the comments and said, there's no way.
There's no way.
It's identical. And I went through, oh, it's Photoshop. Okay. So that's one thing. First of all, we have to just do, I mean, it took me 17 seconds, y'all.
A little bit of research.
17 seconds before we share something. We're going to make sure it's true. Let's start there.
Yes.
Then there's this guy, but there's several of them. There's several of these guys on the internet, on Instagram, and probably the TikTok. And what they do is they take a funny meme and then they put it over them walking with a coffee cup in their yard. Okay. You've seen the guy a million times. I swear when I share it, you're going to be like, oh yeah, I see this guy.
Okay.
And he's just walking in a tracksuit holding a cup of coffee. And it's that annoying wheezing laughing sound, that audio that everyone uses, the wheezing laughing sound. And then he puts whatever that funny meme that got circulated that's like, I wouldn't have a job unless it's a hand job or whatever. Like it's some stupid thing. It's some stupid thing that's shared on a meme or a tweet.
So he's in the background of that.
Yeah, and he's just like, the video is him just holding the coffee mug, walking in his yard, then stopping and laughing like that. And then he puts the writing of the
And that's how he's going viral?
Yes. Every one of his videos gets shared a million times. And I'm like, he didn't even come up with the funny. It was literally a tweet from someone else.
That makes me mad.
But everyone's sharing him. There's a guy, I don't like there's a black guy who does the same thing, and he starts looking this way, and then he slowly turns.
I know who you're talking about.
Y'all know who I'm talking about?
He'll sometimes stand next to a shower.
It's always next to a shower.
It's always next to the shower.
And he's like this.
And he cuts his eyes one way, and then he cuts them the other way.
And he's doing the same thing where he's taking somebody's funny tweet, and he's then putting the words over it, and y'all share it 15 million times.
Well, so any of us can go viral.
This is what I'm saying. So number one, why aren't we doing
this?
Why aren't we? So maybe this is a lesson in me. Miranda, don't hate the player, hate the game.
Hate the game, baby.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's the fact that they do it and this is their entire brand. But I would respect it if they came up with the funny.
Yeah, it's not their funny.
Like who's the guy, Dad is in the title, I want to say. Simon Holland.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Oh, I love Simon Holland.
Simon Holland, y'all.
It's his tweets.
Those are his tweets. He makes up the funny.
Yeah.
He makes up the funny. And then these people take Simon Holland's tweets and they just type them out over the stupid wheezing audio, walking with their coffee cup in their yard or standing next to their shower and then turning their eyeballs, and y'all drink it up. You love it. You salivate over it. And then you share it every day. You share these boys' reels. And they didn't do anything. They didn't come up with it. They're not clever. Their spelling and grammar is horrific. If I were Simon Holland, I'd say, listen, if you're at least going to steal please spell it correctly.
That's right.
But they don't. And I just don't know why people aren't becoming more like hip to this.
So are these guys spreading misinformation in these reels?
Yes. So this stupid guy, thank you.
Yes.
Pull it back.
Yeah.
The stupid guy with the coffee cup in his tracksuit, walking from his porch to his front yard and stopping by the same stupid tree in his yard that needs to be watered, to be honest. He's the one who shares the today years old. And he's like, I'm just finding out that the saying is open sesame, not open sesame.
No. He shared that.
Anyone else?
With like millions of people.
Yes. And then people share it because they think that this guy, for some reason, is like the second coming of Christ and he can't be wrong.
Open sesame.
Y'all, open sesame is actually from like a literature, like a piece of work. It's, oh my God, why can't I think of what it's from? We know what it's from.
Okay.
Open sesame is from
XYZ. I'm a look.
Okay. It's in literature is my point. And so we know that that's where it comes from.
Yes.
Open sesame. We know that that's where it comes from. And so
it's from Alibaba and the 40 Thieves.
Thank you. Yes, Alibaba.
And now is that what Aladdin was based off of? Because it says, now Alibaba had them 40 thieves. So that's in the song.
Yes.
Yes.
By the way, Aladdin on Broadway, way better than Lion King. Unpopular opinion, but I'll go to my grave with it.
Ooh, because I love Lion King, but I haven't seen Aladdin. I loved Lion King.
Not even a competition.
Okay, well then I gotta see it.
Not even a competition. I think Aladdin, Broadway, better.
Aladdin was one of my favorite childhood movies.
Same.
Fave.
Oh, but wait till you see.
The glitz, the glamour. I loved it all.
Amazing.
Even as a kid, I was like, love the outfits, love the jewelry, love the carpets.
And you know me, not an animal person, so
Yeah.
you can see why I love Aladdin over the Lion King. It is
Well,
what it is, but
that's
I do
true.
love the Serengeti. So,
Okay, this is it. This must be it. What were the words? Oh, open sesame.
yes,
Okay.
y'all.
So
it's
there was
open-
there was a password in this story written long
Yes.
time ago.
yeah.
Interesting.
And that's why when you get into something kind of exciting or unexpectedly, you go, open sesame.
open sesame.
But the stupid people start these today years old and they like tag. I was today years old when I realized that tag stands for tap and go. It's not. It's not true. It's not. Tag and go. And you just figured it out yesterday? Stop it.
Gosh.
But that stupid guy, darting his eyes over.
Yep, he's sharing it.
I'm begging y'all, please stop sharing these people. They didn't even come up with it. Half of the time, they're not accurate. They're not true. And it's not clever. It's not clever.
It's not clever.
And it annoys me that we are just being sucked in to this stupid, low-hanging fruit stuff.
I know it. But it's funny that the social medias got all up in arms around election time about misinformation. But shouldn't we care about all misinformation?
That's why I had to share the thing about Jason Kelsey. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, but does it matter? It's the principle.
Well, I think it matters
principle.
because we're saying that this person showed up to the Super Bowl dressed like this, and he did not.
And
so
we
I think it does matter.
What it shows to me, I'm like, we need critical thinking and common sense because we need to be able to look at something and go, that is so good. I want it to be true, but is it?
Yeah.
I wanted it. I love Jason. I love his antics. I love his energy. I wanted that to be true. That's funny to me. That's peak humor. I love The Hangover, and I love Alan, and I love a satchel.
I mean, maybe now he probably will do it.
And I wish that he would.
I think now because that's been shared so much that he will. Either
I think he should go for it as Halloween.
as Halloween or even on one of his podcast
Yes.
episodes, I could see him recording that day in
Yes,
the outfit.
just do it. But you know who did? Brian Kernodle.
He did.
Yeah.
Brian Kernodle, our friend Buckley, her husband
Yes.
dressed like this, and he nailed it. This
Nailed
was
it.
years ago that he did that.
Yeah.
So that's real.
And I just, we've got to be looking at things with more critical thinking skills.
Yes.
And the onus is on us. Like I
Guys.
always say, the onus is on us
Put on your
to
monocle.
spread.
Put your monocle on. Put your top hat and your Here we go again. It hurts so bad.
I know. That's the screenshot. But the onus is on us to research something before we share it to make sure it's true. And
Yeah.
and whether it's as trivial
Trivial.
as something as trivial as Jason Kelsey going dressed as this guy, or as huge as spreading misinformation about the election,
Right.
it matters.
Yeah.
It matters because what it does is it shows the speed at which something can travel,
That's right.
and it shows that a lot of people aren't doing that little bit of digging.
That's
And
right.
so we should all hold each other accountable for that,
Yeah.
I think.
And we should all have a critical eye towards all of these things.
Yeah, and you just showed how to do it. So what you do to have that critical eye, you make the okay.
Okay.
You put that O down by your chinny chin chin and you rotate it up.
You're going to tip it up.
Yeah.
And it's going to feel horrible. I'm breaking my arm trying to do this.
Let me help you.
Like, feel how tight that is?
I do feel
That is, you're doing it way easier than me.
I've been doing it for a very long time. Wait, I don't know why we did this so much at the dinner table, but we did it a lot.
But are you still doing it as an adult?
Well, no, but I'm just saying I did do it a lot growing up because my dad couldn't, and we thought it was so funny.
Can he not?
He really can't. There's just not the flexibility in his arms.
Yeah.
Or
So
something.
Jack, you and I, whatever that is, we have the same thing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, let's end on that.
Let's
You and
end.
Jack having the same inflexible elbows. And if you've learned nothing else from today's podcast, it's that.
We got a lot to say.
To be continued.